Hello everyone and welcome back to the MAD campaign for the Apache in DCS World, and welcome to Mission 10 Special Forces. So this one is a fairly straightforward setup. We are pushing on with our campaign against Iran, and this time our target is Kish Island. Our little two-ship of Apaches is to escort a friendly Chinook that is carrying special forces to make a landing on the island, and then we are to provide close air support to the landing, taking out any key sites that are around the area. And so all fairly straightforward. It is a night mission, but this one turned out to be really quite fun, so let's jump in and see how it all went.
Coffee is not enough anymore. It's too early.
This is the best time to attack, my friend.
Waypoint 1 at 500. 3, on station at bullseye 171 for 25 at 480.
2, take a position on the right. The interval is 300, climb to 1,500 feet.
2 copies, take a position on the right. Waypoint 1 at 500. On station at bull 202 for 24 at 14,000.
Saber 3 Alpha 1.
Saber 3-2.
Uzi 7, on station at bullseye 216 for 20.
Update the information in the tablet. Afsana is transmitting the coordinates of the priority target.
Uzi 7, on station at bull 217 for 20 at 14,000.
There's more information. We failed to suppress the SA-10 and Bandar Lenge. Our radar stations are in operation. You will be notified about missile launch.
Uzi 7, on station at bull 218.
Alpha 1, that's bad news. Roger that, Saber 2.
3-2, look at Tower Stick. There are at least 1,000 soldiers there.
Uzi 7, on station at bull 233 for 18 at 14,000.
What a menacing force. Salah, begin auto search of AFE target coordinates via ACQ.
Roger.
I'm deslaved.
2, combat alert.
2, combat alert.
Asenek, this is Saber 3-2. Ready for action according to your coordinates.
Ready for action.
So here we arrive, the transport starts to land, all those units close to us are all friendly, but we do have eyes on some things that are likely not friendly at the airfield, right where we've been told to look. So I target between them, trying to get eyes on something in particular. I can see a couple of tanks there.
2, start working.
Give orders to my wingman to engage. There's no reason why he can't engage at the same time. Just trying to get a little bit close enough because I do want to prioritise AA if I can, but can't spot any.
Laser on. I also see map pads. Lasers on.
Uzi 7, on station at bull
But so instead decide to target tank.
18,000.
Do get that nicely locked up. I've opted to use radar missiles for this first little batch here. So fire one off. These are fire and forget, so I don't really need to worry now that I've fired that. So tell my CPG here to re-slave.
Tracking target.
Do pick up a AAA there.
AAA at bullseye 0.
Just have to wait for him to laze and laze off to get the ranging information. Then there goes another one. I've got 8 radar missiles here. T-72 gets hit there, so our first missile went in fine. Just making sure this one goes in and actually hits its target. But there we go, Shilka is knocked out.
Target in sight.
Target second T-72.
Laser on.
Do get a missile warning aft, but that'll be my wingman coming in and firing. Nicely, he does seem to actually engage. And you can see in this mission we did have a much better luck with the radar missiles. Not sure if this is because these targets are better spaced out from all the clutter, or if it's because on this mission we finally have the fire control radar, which does make the radar a lot more reliable. Either way, there we go. That barely audible call that's coming through there is just telling us that we have done enough for that initial assault. We are then just to hold position, so I just begin circling and waiting out until we get further orders.
Roger, on it.
So here we get called in on new targets, notably T-90 tanks. These are being IR illuminated, and we can just see this beam crossing on the night vision, so we can see them being pointed out, so know roughly where to look. Just struggling a wee bit to get my CPG to look in the right position. Just I'm not in very stable a hover, so I'm struggling to keep my head still. To lock one up, still got enough by radar missiles, so fire one off there. Again, just tell my wingman to start engaging, and may as well. Trying to look at what's there. Fired on the AA at first, now firing on the tanks that are there. T-90 tanks can certainly be a big threat to ground units, so they are pretty big targets. Unfortunately, the AA that gets hit at first there is just a man-pad. It is not the tracked AA here. And I am nervous of this tracked AA because this is my second attempt. On the first attempt, I got whacked out the sky by a Gepard here, which can be very, very dangerous at these ranges. So, trying to prioritise that as best I can. They are a lot more clustered here, so just doing my best. Do see there that is definitely identified as a Gepard. Unfortunately, it is being surrounded by quite a lot of other things, so it is a little hard to get reliable hits there. Have managed to take out a T-90, which is good. Just continuing to fire missiles here. Still got one more. Target another random armoured vehicle. This looks like an artillery piece on the TSD down there. I think heavy caliber artillery is a little overkill for this size of island, but it's what they have, so let's try and take it out. Trying there to select over to the laser laser hellfires. Do eventually get this all back up and sorted. Do target the Gepard here, which hasn't been hit yet, but now I'm using the lasers. Laser hellfires are very much better at actually hitting what you are pointing at. And so that is what I do here. You can see shots coming up from the artillery pieces. There we go, get a nice hit. The Gepard is down. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable here. And so now it's just a case of working through everything else that is here. So they've still got artillery pieces that are alive, they've got some trucks that are alive. I don't really want to drift closer because there are definitely man-pads in the area. I don't want to take an unnecessarily man-pad hit here. So happy just to hit these things at range with the hellfires. Got plenty still. Do see there is still a T-90 tank that the CPG sees, but when I target it he tells me it's already destroyed, so kind of shrug my shoulders and continue. He spots it again, but then immediately says it's destroyed, so not quite sure what's going on there. Just George AI doing George AI things, I think. There the T-90 does blow up, so I think it was critically damaged, and he was misidentifying it as alive until I told him to point at it, and then he saw that it was dead. By the way, continuing to target the vehicles here in this case, got another one of these artillery pieces that I fire at. Now, disadvantage of the laser Hellfires is you do have to keep targeting on them,
And deslaving.
so they're not fire and forget like the radar ones, so firing is a little slower with them, but I do prefer them just because they do hit what you are looking at.
Roger, engaging.
Now here I do make a mistake. The CPG does pick up something here, but you can see from the TSD that he's just looking at a building. I think it's kind of detecting something on the far side, so the missile just smacks into the side of the building there. Doesn't do anything, that was a waste of a missile. This time you can see that it definitely does have line of sight on this thing. So fire it away. I'm getting a little bit nervous because we are now down to 3 Hellfires and I don't know how much further this mission goes. So I'd prefer to save them if I can.
Lasers off. Those are good hits.
Secondaries on that truck.
And deslaving.
That's it, Commando. The targets are eliminated.
There we get told that those are all eliminated, so once again return to the holding pattern.
Saber 3-2.
Priority target. IR marker. 3-2-2 target. Stock. Radio intelligence intercepted the transmission of missile attack coordinates.
Deslaving.
Arsenic, roger. Proceeding with the target.
So this time we're getting called in to a forward artillery commander up on top of a building over here.
Fly steady.
So try and find it. The first target I find is friendly helicopter. It's my wingman that's in the area.
And slave. I'm deslaved.
We've got something that is undefined. Bit nervous about firing at something that is undefined in the middle of a city like this, so hold off on that. Instead try and get a little bit closer. Do get prompted there to give orders to my wingman, so send him in since he's not doing anything. Now we're getting multiple ground targets, and then on the TSD you can see that there's very nicely some infantry on top of the building. Fire off one of the Hellfires. Unfortunately, I don't know what happens to this Hellfire. It is being lased the whole way, but it just seems to go missing. Not entirely sure why. I know I don't have the best angle here, but for some reason it just disappears. I can't see the explosion, may have just missed it. I actually saw it there, it splashed into the sea, so not quite sure. Either way, go over to the gun, we're close enough now. And these are just infantry on top of a building, so I figure firing some rounds is going to do a lot.
Target is destroyed.
And sure enough there, that just chews up that lot really easily.
The device is eliminated.
Slaving. Deslaving.
Arsenic, Saber 3-2. Stock is eliminated. Are there any more targets?
Roger. IR marker heading 102 in the eastern enemy area. Infantry transport point near the IRTC
Deslaving.
Roger, working.
So it's still got ammo, still got plenty of fuel, called in on another set of targets here. You can see them again being nicely lased, and so start heading over in that direction.
Start working.
And
Once again tell my wingman to engage.
target acquired.
Unfortunately I am just a little bit out of range of our gun here, we are quite far from the target.
Negative.
So here I get a lot closer, CPG reports he's in range but refuses to shoot, so I go and pick out another target. And then finally he seems quite happy to start firing. Which I think we are quite on the edge of the range of this. This isn't an overly accurate gun, and we are quite far. But I do start to get some hits here.
Tracking target.
See some units being taken out.
And sleep.
But quite a lot of our shots are going a little bit wonky here. Just trying to get better positioned. Unfortunately, there are a lot of buildings in the way. See, it's putting round after round into them, firing 20 round bursts. Not really minding about accuracy here, there's just a lot of soft targets in the area. Unfortunately, the rounds seem to be going very, very far out here. I'm not sure exactly where they're falling. They don't appear to be falling anywhere near these guys. There we go, we start to get some decent hits there.
Slaving. I'm deslaved.
So, trying to get him to pick out targets. Fire some more. See, the shots are quite far off-centre there, but these are high explosive rounds and we are shooting at infantry, so it's not exactly the hardest targets to hit here.
Can't see the target.
And they don't seem to be firing anything up at me, so I'm getting a little bit more confident of just flying directly above the slot.
Deslaving. Target acquired.
Trying to get him to fire. Unfortunately, now we're in an awkward part of our gun, so I have to pitch right down to get him to actually be able to shoot. Do manage to take out the SA-18 there, which is pretty useful since that could have caused me trouble. A little bit concerned that I hadn't noticed the SA-18 until I was directly above it.
I'm deslaved.
So here, still looking around, trying to get a good slave solution, decide that it's going to be easier for me just to take control here. So, manually shooting here, just trying to spray across the area, getting decent enough hits. Not quite perfectly bore-sighted, but close enough there. Get a lot of good hits there, a lot of things are actually burning. At the time I thought I really wasn't doing well, but I did actually a fair amount there. As I turn back around, you can see most of the buildings, most of the vehicles are burning.
Deslaving.
So to go back over to manual control here, hit the main group there. That's the last set of infantry down.
Good, Select. Excellent work.
There we go. That is mission accomplished at that point. We just check in and get the orders to RTB.
Saber 3-2. The enemy is eliminated. I'm Winchester.
Saber 3-2, great work.
Saber 3-2, Saber 3-1. Responded.
Passing 7, on station at bullseye 19.
Report the current state of operations, please.
Passing 7, on station at bulls 19.
The enemy is waiting for a landing. We destroyed several groups, but many of them are camouflaged. Arsenok took the position of advantage for observation and provides target designation. This island is a very hot zone. Be careful.
Passing 7.
Well, my hand is as good as ever and ready to run. All we need is a rabbit.
So yeah, that was really quite an enjoyable little mission. I did have a lot of fun with that one. This is what I was kind of hoping the campaign was going to be like for most of it. It was really fun doing some close air support there, going in on targets being lased by ground targets, giving them support, all sorts of different targets there, from air-to-air missile systems to tanks to random infantry. A lot of fun, really enjoyed that one, so hopefully they keep up, although we are nearing the end of the campaign now, so hopefully you will join me for the rest of those. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.